The British Grand Prix returned to its traditional July date, round 11 of the Formula One World Championship at Silverstone. VIPs in discussion: could David Coulthard win 3 British Grand Prix in a row? It was Michael Schumacher who claimed pole position, the 40th of his career, having won the last 2 Formula One Grand Prix and at Silverstone back in 1998. Alongside him on the front row, Mika Hakkinen equalled his best qualifying of the season. David Coulthard, Schumacher's nearest championship challenger, on the second row with Jarno Trulli. Heinz-Harald Frentzen with Rubens Barrichello in the second Ferrari on row 3. Kimi Räikkönen equalled his best qualifying of the season alongside Juan Pablo Montoya on row 4. Ralf Schumacher with Nick Heidfeld on row 5. Ralf Schumacher down on row 5 after 3 successive front row positions. 21 cars on the grid. The non-qualifier, Tarso Marquez in the Minardi. From the start, Michael Schumacher quickly away. Mika Hakkinen took time to pick up pace. David Coulthard locked in a battle with Jarno Trulli, and they touched. Olivier Panis also touched his teammate Jacques Villeneuve. Trulli was into the gravel trap. Coulthard spun away into the pit lane exit and restarted in last place. So much ground for Coulthard to make up after that collision with Jarno Trulli. Trulli into retirement. Coulthard managed to keep going, but he was right at the back of the field. Up front, Michael Schumacher led from Mika Hakkinen, but the McLaren man was pushing the world champion all the way. Meantime, the other McLaren of David Coulthard went out after completing just 2 laps. Ron Dennis surveyed the monitors to see exactly what was happening to his 2 drivers. Coulthard in trouble, spinning away into the gravel trap, into retirement. No points from Silverstone, no hat-trick on this occasion. Hakkinen closed once again on Michael Schumacher as they started lap 5. Thrilling duel for the crowd, and Hakkinen eventually spotted the opportunity and went past Michael Schumacher to assume the lead. Luciano Berti went out in the Prost, his engine failing, and oil was laid down on the track, causing concern for everybody else left in the race. Montoya next up to attack Michael Schumacher, and he swept through to second place. Hakkinen, meantime, running first, set the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:23.799. Montoya set off in pursuit of the McLaren, but there was no holding Mika Hakkinen. In peerless form, he never put a wheel wrong throughout the 60 laps. Into the pits for his first pit stop. This presented Montoya with the lead. Hakkinen dropping to second place behind the Colombian. But Hakkinen always had him in his sights. Montoya in his first Formula One Grand Prix at Silverstone, although of course he had raced here in Junior Formulae before. Further down the order, Rubens Barrichello was in 4th place and Ralf Schumacher was 5th. Montoya came in for a pit stop. Hakkinen went back into 1st place. Hakkinen built up his lead to 11.7 seconds over Michael Schumacher. Montoya, after his stop, was in 5th. Barrichello and Ralf Schumacher ahead of him. But then Schumacher went down an escape road and retired. Hakkinen in for his second pit stop. Still, he didn't have enough time in hand over Michael Schumacher to be certain of coming out still in the lead. But as he went out, Michael Schumacher came in, ensuring that Hakkinen remained in 1st place. Michael Schumacher dropped from 2nd to 4th as Barrichello and Montoya went through ahead of him. but Barrichello had yet to make his first stop. Montoya was due a second. Ross Brawn plotting the Ferrari strategy. Montoya into the pits. This lost him third place as Michael Schumacher went through. Then in came Rubens Barrichello from second. With 15 laps to go, Barrichello back on the circuit and in third place ahead of Montoya. Meantime, Villeneuve and Irvine were having their own battle over 8th place. Villeneuve making it very interesting. Montoya in 4th, but 8 seconds behind Rubens Barrichello. Kimi Räikkönen. Of all the Formula One new boys this season, he's been the most consistent. Räikkönen tailing his fellow Finn Mika Häkkinen on the road. Heinz-Harald Frentzen in 7th place. The Jordans on their home circuit due to finish without a point, but it looked like the full 10 for Mika Häkkinen as he acknowledged the applause of the crowd. The checkered flag out ready for him. Häkkinen home for his first win of the season and his first since Hungary last year. Häkkinen completing the 60 laps in a fraction over an hour 25. Michael Schumacher in second place to extend his championship lead over David Coulthard. With Rubens Barrichello coming home third, it was 2 Ferraris in the top 3. But the celebrations were all McLaren. Joy, delight and some relief at the return to form of Mika Häkkinen. Superb drive from the former world champion. This was the classification. Häkkinen 33.6 seconds ahead of Michael Schumacher at the finish. Barrichello would join them on the podium. Juan Pablo Montoya, Kimi Räikkönen and Nick Heidfeld, the 2 Saubers finishing in the top 6 and picking up points. Heinz-Harald Frentzen just missing out. The battle between Villeneuve and Irvine settled in the end in favour of Villeneuve, who was 8th. Jos Verstappen, who started 17th and was 7th at one stage, in the end finished 10th. In all, 16 drivers classified, including Jean Alesi in the Prost and both Benettons, Giancarlo Fisichella and Jenson Button on his home ground. Among the not classified drivers, Ralf Schumacher and David Coulthard. Coulthard, who completed just 2 laps. Disappointing British Grand Prix for him. But the applause was all for Mika Häkkinen, from his crew and from the crowd. Delight and relief at his return to form. Michael Schumacher in second place. Quick to congratulate Mika Häkkinen. Mutual respect between those two. McLaren team surged forward to get a close-up view of their man on the podium. And he was going to enjoy every moment. Mika Häkkinen received the trophy from His Royal Highness Prince Michael of Kent after a brave drive and a great race.
It feels really good, obviously after all this trouble that's been going on this year. So it's good to win it, obviously, and particularly here in Silverstone, because trying for English team and English crowd, so we made a great show, you know.
Second place for Michael Schumacher in a Ferrari that never looked easy to drive.
My car wasn't really the way I would have liked to have it, in particular into Copse. I had a lot of problems. I got sideways a couple of times at the entry, and when it happened with Mika, exactly that happened. I lost it at the entry, and I managed to keep it on the track, which that was the only thing I was worried at this moment. And then Mika was beside me, and nothing I could do against that.
Rubens Barrichello third. A great support drive from him.
Well done to Rubens.
I was having to drive it quite carefully, although I was trying to be quite fast. And I was lucky that my car was quite good at exiting Beckett. Otherwise, I couldn't hold anybody. But it was good to see Montoya coming into the pits, and then I had the chance to come in and still be in front of him. After that, the car with the new tires were a little bit better, so I was okay to drive away.
That was the podium. These are the championship positions. Michael Schumacher with a 37-point lead over David Coulthard. 3 points between Rubens Barrichello and Ralf Schumacher. Mika Häkkinen up to 19 as a result of that victory. Juan Pablo Montoya 15. Nick Heidfeld now 10. 17 drivers in all have scored points so far this Formula One World Championship season. A look at the Constructors' Championship. No change in terms of the points differential at the top. Still 52 between Ferrari and McLaren after both picked up 10 points apiece at Silverstone. Williams 46, Sauber 19, Jordan 15 and BAR 12. The other teams into double figures, and just Minardi of the 11 teams have yet to score a point. At Silverstone, it was very definitely Mika Häkkinen's day.